Johnson, care for a rub down?
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Something special is about to happen.
Are you waiting to receive my limp penis?
Very aroused.
Better than later.
Let's do this.
That is incredible. That is unbelievable. That is brilliant.
Yeah, g'day rubbers. Welcome back to the weekly rub down. You're listening to the HOK Rub Down. I'm your host, Natty, the triple champion, and as always, with me riding shotgun in the Rubmobile. He's over there fucking switching things, touching things. He's rattled already. The stats daddy. Wook, what's going? You good there, bro?
Oh, mate, I've been better. Bit dusty Springfield, but you know, you got to push through these things. I'm the consummate professional, so I will be powering through no matter what.
Well, as I tear the scab off, why don't you tell the folks at home what you got up to? You alluded to a couple of tasty little stories there in the green room, falling over, smashing your face.
Oh, yeah, yes. 90% sure I had a concussion last night, so that's always a bit of fun. But yeah, also we went out drinking. It was heaps of it was a housewarming. Had a heap of cocktails, and I haven't got cocktail drunk in a while. And it's a different type of drunk. So you kind of steep curve, and the sugar hits as well. It's it makes for a rotten hangover. Today has been an absolute train wreck.
No. Oh, no.
Absolute
Plus, we're 40 plus. Well, you're 40 plus. I'm almost there.
Yeah.
That's never good. Mixing drinks. And I always find when you're on cocktails, you drink them real quick, and then it's almost like you use beer as a chaser. Look, I'll just sink this beer real quick before I go on to my next cocktail. So all of a sudden, the 10 drinks that you would normally have turn into 25, and that's why you fall off chairs and smash your face into concrete.
Exactly. So
that's where you go.
I had a sore head for a number of reasons this morning, and good times I had by all. It was a fucking fantastic night, and look, I'd do it again.
And like we we're saying, the Lovers League Triple A's coming up soon. You can't go into that weekend cold. You need to build up for it. You need at least, I would say, 4 or 5 good sessions in preparation for that weekend. So
we also need,
there's one under your belt.
Yeah, you need to play yourself into form. It's that sort of situation.
Yes, 100%. Right, we've postponed this hooker podcast a couple of times. I was crook as a dog the first fucking time we were supposed to record this one. I think it was me just studying the hooker position and how ill it made me throughout that process. I got so ill that I actually couldn't record that podcast. So, but silver lining, a few things have come to light over the last few days that will help us in our analysis of the position as we go through. So that's kind of a good thing that we just waited.
Absolutely. I think like the JMK news is huge. It's going to have pretty big impacts, but also the Send on Smith potentially getting the hooking job. It's the halfback job. It's that'll change things massively, I think. Because I was pretty cold on him because I thought he was going to be sharing time through the hooking spot with Phoenix. But yeah, bit of mail that that's not going to be how it plays out.
No, that's true. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the Hooking Analysis podcast, guys, you want to get your 5-star sledges in if you want to join the Rubbers League for 2026. First of all, you need to be a Rub Club subscriber, so get in there. $8 a month for all your Super Coach gear. If you want the best statistical backup you can find on the fucking planet for your NRL Supercoach sides, whether that's classic or draft, the Rub Club is the place to do it. So get in there, subscribe, and then get some tasty little benefits like being able to join the Rubbers League for 2026. So get your 5-star sledges in over on Apple Podcasts, or you can leave a comment over on Spotify as well, if I can get to that. Now, there was one that you sent me. I was supposed to get that one up. Someone screenshotted it or something because he tried to...
Our boy Eduardo, yeah.
apparently on Spotify it has a 500 character limit. So, of course, the sledges that people want to leave in Spotify or Apple Podcasts are well and truly eclipsing that 500 character mark. Now, I don't know if I can find it.
We want short stories, not novels.
No, and look, it just goes to show you that people have a lot to fucking say about us, which is always good. And especially when you ask people to come up with terrible things to say about you.
God.
And then
we give them a lot of ammunition, though.
and then they start going 500 characters isn't enough. That's going to tell you all you fucking need to know. Anyway, I'll find that one for the Front Row Forward podcast and read that one out. But yeah, get them in. I will, over the next week, have a look at Spotify, jump in there, see if there's any comments. If that is the case and you can only comment on Spotify and you want to leave something that's 500 characters or longer, then can you DM Wooker on the Rub Club? I'll only accept screenshots of comments that can't be posted if it's via
Patreon. Yep,
the Patreon. So if you're on Spotify, you're trying to leave a sledge and you're like, fuck, this is not getting accepted, screenshot it, send it to Wooker, tell him what's going on. He'll send it to me and we'll accept it that way. For all you other plebs, you got to do it the hard way. Get on Apple Podcasts and leave a 5-star sledge over there. But yeah, let's get them rolling because that's the highlight of my fucking month is reading those bad boys. Other than that, we can dive straight into this absolute tire fire that's inside a volcano, that's inside a planet exploding, inside an absolute black hole. I've got nothing nice to say about this position. As I was doing the study, I found myself only searching for negative things to say about each player. So don't expect a lot of, hey, go get this guy. This guy's going to be good. Or think of it this way. Nothing from me. Just all negative Nancy from Natty.
I mean,
disgusting.
The concern is like there's no consistency of minutes. The only one that I'm pretty confident in is Blake Brailey. Outside of that, like there's question marks on everyone, and changing of roles and changing of personnel and team structure and like list as long as my old fellow. It's like it's bad. It's a bad
short
position.
List. So you mean short list, like a real tiny list?
I knew you'd pick up on that.
You're not making sense there, bro.
Well done.
Now, disclaimer, all the ranks and everything that we talk about, this is the very first podcast, the very first positional podcast. Things will change, very fluid. So this is us dipping our toes in. We will go through ranks. So last year's top 10, we'll talk about our top 10 as it stands at the moment. Then we'll go through each category, our elite picks, from rounds 1 to 10, well, there'll be none of them. Don't worry about that. Guns, pick 11 to 30. Sweet spot, pick 31 to 70. Bargain basement, pick 71 to 110. And Hail Mary picks 110 plus. Categorize them in that section. So as we go through, you're getting a bit of a picture on where we think you should draft these guys. Not giving you an exact science, like draft this guy at pick 43, but just a bit of a category in which you should start looking or turning your attention to certain players. We'll do the happy ending where we talk strategy for this position. We'll cover our boom bust sleepers. Then we will end this normal podcast. And then if you want to listen to the rest of this bad boy, you have to jump over on Rub Club, where we will dive into our players in focus. We will each choose a player that really interests us in this position, the hooking position, for the 2026 draft. We'll dive a little bit deeper into that position and have a discussion at length about those two players. Then we'll have a touch on classics and prices, what our early look at the position hooker for our classic team is. We'll answer some questions from the Patreon subscribers, and then we'll get the fuck out of here. So it's split into two. If you want to listen to everything, you're going to have to be a Rub Club subscriber. But yeah, she's going to be a girthy one anyway. So let's get into this hooking position. I don't want to do it, but we got to do it.
Grant with a dummy and almost untouched Harry Grant.
They're hookers, so it's
Let's get you a rub down.
Let's get you rubbed down indeed. So, hookers. Top 10. Oh, we'll talk about what we're looking for.
Yeah,
This is you've been given the hooking position,
correct.
to sort of lead the charge here, Wook.
Yeah,
What are we looking for?
It's an amazing position to take the reins on. Thank you so much for gifting it to me.
No worries, yeah. You're welcome.
Realistically, with a hooker, especially now, you're just looking for someone to get the job done, really. There's no league-winning hookers at all. So it's not gone are the days of the Cam Smiths of the world and the Farahs. It's like we are just getting someone to get you to the finish line. So you want to get someone with a consistent platform, and upside is generally great. 80-minute hookers are great as well, but not essential because there's only a handful of those that are still going around. You really want to be looking at teams that attack through the middle. So strong plays through the middle, quick play the balls and that sort of thing, just so they can get off the back foot from there. Outside of that, like the depth in the position's terrible, and the upside quality of players is pretty bad as well. So it's really like we'll talk about it after we go through the position as a whole, but it's not one that you want to be rushing into in your draft.
No, and it used to be a position where we used to talk about let's try and gather up these 80-minute hookers, but 80-minute hookers are a rarity in the league at the moment.
For sure.
There's probably only going to be maybe two, off the top of my head, maybe Mahoney and Brailey. Everyone else is going to be sharing minutes, which is straight up. Even you would say Harry Grant sharing minutes.
Oh, Harry Grant absolutely will be.
Tyron Wishart or Garlic. Or
No. Garlic's up in
Tyron
Bunnies.
Wishart.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a position that year after year is just getting worse, and the outlook on the position is getting more dire. And I've just got fuck all to say about it, honestly. And it's going to be a position that I won't be looking at until very late in the draft. So let's get into the 2025 top hookers when it was all said and done. We had Blake Brailey at 67, number one. Number two, Harry Grant. He scored 62. James K at 62 average. He was number three. Number four was Connor Watson at 59 average. Number five was Cam McInnes at 57. He's no longer a hooking option.
Yep.
Lost his dual status there. Number six is Tom Starling at 56 average. Number seven, Appy Coruscant, 55 average. Number eight, Sam Barrels at 55 average. And nine, Damien Cook at a 54 average. Then it just dies in the fucking ass. But like just off the top of my head, before we start diving into players, Cook's going to lose minutes. Big Coruscant, no goal kicking, and needs 80 minutes. He probably won't get 80 minutes. Tom Starling, there's 45 hookers at Raiders at the moment. Cam McInnes is coming off an ACL. Connor Watson is sharing more minutes. JMK won't start the season. Harry Grant is Harry Grant, and Blake Brailey's Blake Brailey. So just quickly, then just going through that list, there's only two players that you could say, okay, maybe they go into 2026 without much changing.
Yeah, like I think Blake Brailey had a great year from a like Supercoach scoring perspective. So like I would be hesitant to sell the farm to get Blake Brailey, just for backing up. It's probably not gonna work. I think Harry Grant comes in probably a little bit underpriced or undervalued from that 62 average. I think he can go a lot higher, especially with the loss of Pappy. They're going to need to be scoring plays a little bit through the guts more. They've got Dave Moali who's coming in. So yeah, I think he's definitely one that I'll be looking at. But then you got to look at the end of year.
So many question marks.
End of year run.
The
Storm's strength of schedule sucks. So
don't worry, I'll talk about it. Stop stealing my thunder.
Sorry.
Harry Grant is highlighted red. You didn't leave me many fucking players, and you've gone on and just taken another one because you just mentioned everything that I was going to say.
Fair.
So
I'm looking at all the players that I have highlighted. I apologize.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. You've taken the vast majority of anyone that's got anything good to say about them. And then go and take the one player that is okay for me. Cool. Cheers for that. Should I just pack up and fuck off then?
Yeah, pretty much. I got this.
You keep it going. Righto. Let's get into our top 10 as we see it. The rough rub ranks. Harry Grant number 1, Blake Brailey number 2, JMK 3. Jake Simpkin 4, Reed Marnie 5, Abby Coruscant 6, Wade Egan 7, Connor Watson 8, Sandon Smith 9, and Sammy Barrels at 10. Now we have 20 hookers, believe it or not, ranked over in the Rub Club. If you want to read beyond 10 players, it's on there. It's not a great read after 10. I'll just give you the hot tip there, but that is our top 10 at the moment. Is there anything you can see changing in the future with that top 10, bro?
I mean, unless we get mail that like there's a few ACL injuries to backup hookers in teams. So like Cookie goes down, that means Little might come into the top 10. If we get word that Reece Robson is locked down for an 80-minute role, then yeah, maybe he's one that would slip into the top 10. But yeah, it's like realistically, I don't see a whole heap changing.
No, it's, yeah, again, not a lot doing in this position. So let's start diving into these categories and start dissecting some of these ladies of the night. First up, we've got the elite guys. This will be interesting.
The elite.
Good chat.
Best of the best.
I got a boner.
Picks 1 to 10. Fuck all hookers in there. So let's move on.
Yep. Couldn't agree more.
Guns. Lots of guns.
So,
Mr. Burgundy, you have a massive erection.
the next category, guns, picks 11 to 30. I would even say that there's probably no hookers in here either.
No.
But let's just lump probably the best guys in the position to talk about in here. But honestly, I mean, Harry Grant, Blake Brailey, JMK are probably the top 3 guys that if you wanted to reach maybe in those picks 30s, this is where they would land.
Yeah.
But they all have question marks surrounding each one of them.
Well, JMK's got that meniscus that's the long hill factor.
Four weeks to miss the start of the season. Let's start with Harry Grant. You started on him earlier.
I'll let you go.
Now, 9-point drop on average from the previous season, 2024. CV the same, minutes the same, percentage of games over 60 the same, just a drop in PPM from 0.93 to 0.83. He had 3 big minute games where he scored below 50. That's not great. 2 of those were below 30. This is the big one. He averaged 52 in games where he didn't score a try, and he only scored 4 tries.
Yeah, wow.
So 4 tries, lowest tally since 2021. He still had 10 assists, which was on par for the last sort of 4 or 5 years for Harry. He does play best when Melbourne are on their front foot. Nelson Asafa-Solomona has been a big part of his running game after his runs, and so is Ryan Pappenhausen through the work that he does in the middle with his support play. No Nas, no Pappy. I think Storm are going to be a more side-to-side team without those 2 players in the team, which literally takes Harry Grant out of it. Now, that's a poor year from Harry Grant. What did he average?
62.
62?
Yeah.
It's a poor year. You take those tries out, it's a 53 average. I mean, he's going to have to increase his output a little bit to do better than last year. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to share more minutes as well. You'll see less 80-minute games from him. I think the no Nas thing is so fucking big and it can't be glossed over because a lot of his assists, a lot of his tries have come off the play after or the play after that when Nas has had a run close to the line. So I actually think the departure of Papi, Katoa and Nas is going to have a positive effect on Munster. And I think Harry Grant's going to lose out a little bit. So for a guy who's probably the number 1 hooker, a guy that you're going to have to probably take round 3, early round 4. I mean, I wouldn't even take him then. That's how sort of low I am on Harry Grant. I just don't see the upside from Harry Grant when you compare him to other players in, say, round 3 that you could get in the same round with a much better out.
Yeah. I Look, hooker's not a position that I'm looking at in the first 5 rounds, put it bluntly. And to get either Blake Brailey or Harry Grant, you're going to need to pull the trigger round 3, round 4.
Yeah,
and I just don't think it's worth it. Neither of them have like top quality strength of schedule through finals. It's just a no-win situation.
And it's a position that strength of schedule really doesn't fucking matter anyway. Like it's not as though you can pick some of these guys and go, oh, they're just going to fucking kill it come this stretch of games where they're playing certain teams. So it's, they don't even have that next to their name. Now, Blake Brailey, obviously 67 average, that was huge. He had a great year, right? We knew that he had this in his game. 5 line breaks, 8 line break assists, 15 assists for the season. The question is this sustainable for Blake Brailey? And it really all happened at the back end of the year. So 10 assists, 5 line breaks, 8 line break assists, 3 tries, all in 11 games. And up until that point, he was averaging 58. Still had 7 sub-50 scores. We know that he's got that in him. Like even in games where he scored a try, one of those games he scored a 97, but the other 2, 59 and 65. So not great, even with a try. The amount of creating stats that he had, I think it masked his output. And if you want to draft him at a 67, you're going into the 2026 hoping that these assists and these line breaks, all these creating stats are just going to happen again. I honestly think that was a little bit of an outlier that season for Blake Brailey. And not only that, is defenses probably didn't have him on their radar in video sessions when they're looking at, okay, how are Sharks going to attack? How are they going to hurt us in this game? Blake Brailey probably didn't come up right. He fucking will now.
Oh, yeah. And look, I think one of the things that might work in his favor, where we were talking about detractions for Harry Grant with Nas leaving, it's the second season with Adam Fanor-Blake. So potentially there might be a bit of an uptick because there was only 6 tries that AFB scored last season. We know that he can probably push that to maybe 7 to 10 sort of
Does
range.
Blake Brailey beat 15 assists?
No, and that's
so
big,
crazy.
And that's what I was alluding to when we were first talking about. He's pretty much coming off a career year.
Yeah.
So I think it's paying overs for what he can offer.
Exactly. And that's what I'm getting at. All these hookers have something where you're just like, it's not worth what their CV says at the moment coming into this 2026 season. I wish there was an avenue where I could go, right, this is a guy that I think coming into this next season, he's going to fucking go gangbusters. But so far, Grant and Brailey, no thank you. Now JMK, missing the first month of the season, right? But before that news, we were pretty confident that he will be sharing minutes with someone. There's a few candidates that could come on and share minutes with JMK.
Plus,
now,
there's a long list.
2 straight away. Yeah. Yep. So if you're in that camp where you're looking at Plath or Donahue taking some minutes of JMK, you have to look at games where he played sub 70 minutes. So in games last year where he played sub 70 minutes, he averaged 58. So it's 10 games. So it's a pretty good sample size there.
It's not as bad as I was expecting.
He had a monster performance in 2 of those games. In one, he had a try and an assist, 2 line breaks and a line break assist. In the other one, he had 1 try, 2 assists, a line break and 2 line break assists.
A couple of outliers. Yeah.
Monster fucking attacking games, like monster games for a hooker. Huge game. So if you take those out to see what sort of floor we're working with, now we're looking at a 46. Now we're starting to get a little bit scary with JMK.
Yeah.
So in games where he played less than 70 minutes and didn't have a huge attacking game, he averaged 46 points. Now he does have those monster games in him, don't get me wrong, but you need to be ready for the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
Which are these sort of low-ish games. So there's the deterrent for JMK.
Yeah. I mean,
it missed the start of the season and he won't play 80 minutes. And you have to be relying on these huge monster fucking attacking games.
Like it fits perfectly with his base power average of 46.6. Like it ties in exactly with what you were saying with his floor. Like that's, yeah, without those attacking stats, that's pretty much what you're going to get. Yeah, and the 4 tries from last season, is he going to be in a position to get that with all the troops back? Yeah, I think with the attacking weapons that they've got on their edges, they're going to be a bit of a side-to-side team as well. Like they've got a lot of push through the middle, but they're losing a few of their big boppers, getting a few back from injury. So I think there's going to be a bit of state of flux in the team, and I've got massive concerns over how many minutes he'll get consistently. Just you hit the nail on the head at the very start. Like there's a number of players that can fill that position, and they will rotate. We've seen Wolf do it through the season last year. So,
and being a JMK owner in 2025, when Donahue was coming on and spelling JMK and he was playing sort of that 65-minute role, there were times there where I was genuinely worried that JMK might not get to 40 points. And then he magically pulled out some attacking stats out of his arsehole, which is great. Don't get me wrong. Like he has that in him. I just don't think it's a sustainable thing to be drafting him at. Yeah, he's not like a year in, year out attacking weapon. And maybe they needed him to be that sort of player because they were missing so many troops. So there's 3 of the best there. And I've got a problem with all 3 of them.
Yeah, I share the concerns, man. Like you don't want to be starting the season with no hooker as well for a month. It's it just means you're going to have to buy 2 hookers in your draft, which I don't even want one.
The only way I can see this working out is if everyone's scared off JMK because he's missing the start of the season, and you get him at an absolute steal. That's the only positive to come out of that. If he falls into your lap late in the draft and you go, well, I'll just AE the position until he comes back, and then I'm looking at JMK and I got him for a good price. He's going to play the rest of the season. We didn't really talk about the amount of soft tissue injuries that he's had over the last couple of years as well. Like you've got to think about that when you draft him as well.
Like what for you? What would value be for JMK?
Round 8.
Yeah.
Round 8. Yeah. Like pick 70s.
Yeah.
Because I just have no love for this position.
Yeah.
It's going to have to shock me. It's going to have to fucking shock me to the core of my being when I see one of these cunts still on the board. I'm going to have to, I'll fall off my fucking chair and then I'll go, oh, wow, this is crazy value. Come on down. I'll take you.
Yeah. I'm looking at the rankings of what we've got at the moment, and yeah, I'm even looking at pushing them down even further. Like I just think it's a position as a whole we should just fade.
Yep. It just doesn't have one. It's starting to lose its consistency. That sort of like engine room, 65, 70 points every week. We're even losing that from some of these elite guys. And it's just never had that type of high-octane upside. Harry Grant used to have a little bit in his game, but he's starting to lose that as well. Just nothing sexy about the position, if I'm totally honest. So let's move on to the sweet spot.
That's your sweet spot right there.
Oh my God.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Fuck yeah.
Now, this is where we've got Jake Simpkin, Reed Mahoney, Appy Coruscant, Wade Egan, Connor Watson, Sandon Smith, Sam Verrills, Tom Starling. Now, usually, this is where I would poke my head in to have a little gander at the position. But looking at those names, probably not this year. So, who do you want to have a chat about?
I'll read Mahoney. He's probably one that interests me a little bit. So, he's obviously shifted up to Cowboys. They've let Robson go. They've let Lawton go. I do think that there's a world where he gets 80 minutes. It's already been spoken about with him in an interview that came across. So, look, I think I'm interested in him at 80-minute role. Realistically, what does that mean? 55 to 60 average at best. So, it's nothing that's going to, blow wind up my skirt, but it's definitely like he's going to be undervalued, I think.
Yeah, the 80-minute roll is obviously what's interesting with Reed Mahoney. You hit the nail on the head. I'd probably even dial it back a little bit. I'm thinking 80 minutes, probably a 55 average.
Yeah.
We did speak a little bit about his attacking prowess a couple of years ago. I don't think the Cowboys are going to need him to do that. If you look how they've used Robson over those years, we just want you to tackle and get good service to the halves so we can get the ball out to our strike weapons on the edge. So you're going to get 50 tackles out of him, maybe a couple of runs, which is, ultimately going to get you that 55 average. The thing with Reed Mahoney is, where does he slip? Now, if he slips into the back end of this sweet spot, we're talking round 6, round 7, that's where I like him. Anything earlier than that, I'm positive I can find someone else in another position that will do a better job.
Absolutely. I think there's a lower risk option in any other position, to be honest, at the same value. So yeah, I'm not going to sell the farm, but yeah, I think round 7 is probably about where I see him as well.
Yep. But yeah, like the 80-minute roll, we're happy about that. That's going to be good. And he desperately needs it as well to be Supercoach relevant. Now, Jake Simpkins, a guy that the 80-minute roll definitely comes into play when we're going to talk about him, but I'll save him. He's going to be my Chubb Rub that we'll talk about in the Player in Focus over on the Rub Club. Anyone else here? You've got a couple of guys highlighted in green. Let's work through them, bro.
Yeah, so Connor Watson's one of them. I'll be talking about him a little bit later, but yeah, Robson incoming. They've got a string of lock options and DC.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it now, and then we'll just call the boom bust sleepers out at the end. But
so Reece Robson comes in. He's not Connor Watson has been the predominant hooker. Obviously, Benny Iolu, whatever his name is, he's been filling in a little bit, but they've had a lot of injuries in both the hooking and lock position. They get a lot of troops back. They're flush with options at lock. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to use Connor this year as well. So there's a few question marks about where is he going to be scoring through. Is Robson going to get that 80-minute role? And if he does, that's obviously going to hurt the minutes that Watson will get. So are we thinking that Navahu White's going to be lock, or are we thinking Radley's going to be lock? I'm fading him more and more the more I think about it, because he might just be the ultimate bench utility.
Yeah, once Radley gets back, the deck is going to be shuffled a fair bit. Robson is obviously going to suck up the vast majority of the minutes at the hooking role, 60 to 70 minutes, I assume, which means there's maybe 10, 15 minutes there for Connor Watson to fill in at hooker, which isn't great for his Supercoach game anyway. Then you've got a gaggle of cunts that are lining up in the middle to play. Once Radley's back, like you said, is Naf White going to play lock, or is he going to play front row? You've got Nat Butcher coming off the bench. Are they going to have 2 80-minute edge back rowers in Wong and Crichton? And if that's the case, that's just going to push more minutes into the middle to be shared as well, which isn't going to be a good thing for Connor Watson either. He's obviously a victim of his versatility, him being the perfect 14 for the Roosters and for New South Wales as well. Do you know what I mean? Like him coming on as Mr. Fix-It. I'm with you. He is shaping up to be a bit of a bust. We have been on his dick a lot last couple of years because of his potential.
Yep.
But the thing is, you look at this Roosters side now with the inclusion of DCE, I think the name of the fucking game is get it to your strike weapons. Let's not fuck around in the middle too much. Let's get it out wide. Why you dicking and dunking and fucking about in the middle when Toops, Mark, Nawangita-Waze, DCE's calling the ball, Sam Walker wants it, Teddy's on the sweep. What are you doing in there, Watson?
Yeah.
Just fucking pass the ball or have a hit up, brother.
They're not a middle team. So it's definitely one that I'm looking at him being a bust. And yeah, we'll talking about that later. Look, let's change gears a little bit. And Wade Egan he interests me a little bit. He was almost going to be my boom or sleeper. So, look, I think he had some decent scoring through the season. What did he average? Just bear with me. Had a decent average last year, 55. So I think it's definitely one that I think he can replicate. They don't have, they are pretty flush with attacking forward options. So who's going to be feeding them the ball? It's going to be Egan. I think there's some really good strike attacking weapons that they do have. And look, we've been pretty critical in the past of Wade Egan and his soft tissue injuries. He was out for large parts of the 2024 season. He had a bit more longevity this season, a bit more durability. So that's something that I've been looking for a while from him. So he managed to string together 20 games out of 24. So not too shabby when we're looking at him as an option. We're averaged out at 70 minutes a game. So again, it's another tick. His pure base average, now pure base, is 43. So that's a decent floor to be working from when we know that he's got some decent attacking output there as well.
Yes, he is an interesting one, Egan. He did have an injury-affected game there. Take that out, it's a 56 average, so a little bit of a bump there. Minutes were a little bit inconsistent at times. He strung a few 80s at the start of the season there, but then was getting spelled there at the back end of games, 10 minutes, 15, sometimes 20 minutes with who was the guy that was coming on?
Was it Lussick? Freddie Lussick?
I think it was Freddie Lussick. Anyway, I'll think of his name in a minute. So is that going to continue? Obviously, those injuries have, like you mentioned, have there been a bit of a worry in the past, or do they go with a 4-forward heavy bench? And he does continue to play these big minutes. There's a couple of question marks there. I like him. I'm a bit of a fan of Wade Egan. He's been pretty consistent. He had a down year in 2024, but before that was a 56. So you would expect, 50 to 55 is probably where he's going to land again. I'm just worried about the minutes again. These are the things that are going to keep me from picking any of these hookers before round 7, because again, I just think I'll be able to find someone else in a different position that's going to do a better job.
Yeah. And look, it was Sam Healey that was
Yep.
that was stringing some games together. And look, I would have some concerns that the sharing of minutes is going to continue with Healey, and especially with the extended benches that they'll have this season. I think they're trialing 6 players on the bench now, so it's going to be really difficult for us to really understand like prop rotations and things like that pre-game. So I think that's definitely something where, like, there's not going to be enough of an understanding from our side how it's going to land. Exactly.
Work out.
So look, I can't go all in on Wade Egan either, because there's more question marks again. It's a very common theme, isn't it?
Yeah, it's and look, I apologize, guys, that we're sort of like it is kind of a bit negative here, but it's just sort of backing up our thoughts on why this position is almost irrelevant in your drafts, because again, you're just going to find better options in other positions at the times where some of these guys are going to fall. So I wouldn't be falling into a trap and reaching for any of these hookers just because there's a run on hookers or something, depending on the draft. And like I said the other day, like the perfect scenario would be if you just all made a pact and said no one touch hookers until round 10, and then we all go ballistic on hookers then. That would be fantastic. Api Coruscant, we've talked about Api Coruscant a million times. Yeah. He needs 80 minutes to be relevant. He won't get it. He won't get the goal kicking either.
Yeah.
That hurts him. I think he probably drops a couple of points. He's going to sit between that sort of 50, 55. But even in sub 80-minute games without the goal kicking, we've seen him average between 45 and 50. So there is a chance that he fucking falls off the side of a cliff. I don't want to be part of that roller coaster. Again, another guy that I'm going to fade and let someone else take. Anyone else here you want to talk about? You got Sam Verrills.
Yeah.
Leave him for your chub rub.
Yeah, Sammy Verrills, I'm a little bit keen on him just with the changes to the coaching and things like that I'll get into when we talk about our players in focus, so the chub rubs. Haven't got him highlighted, but yeah, Sandon Smith's worth a mention. We'll talk about him a little bit more when we get into the 5'8". Is 5'8" hooker dual, or is it half that? Anyway, whichever
5'8" hooker.
Yeah, whichever it is. Yeah, he's definitely going to be valuable just due to that that dual, because I think that's probably the most valuable dual at the moment.
For sure.
So 2 dog shit positions. He straddles both. We've got word potentially that he'll be playing in the halves. If he does, there is a good chance that he'll get the goal kicking. Personally, I think he's only relevant if he gets the goal kicking. He had an average of 51, 52 last season. 11.9 points per game were from goal kicking. Has to be said that, look, it's super relevant that we need to know if he's goal kicking so we can place him effectively. The other concern is like, what side of the field is he going to be playing on? Like right or left?
Yeah,
we spoke about this earlier in the week, and look, if he's playing on the right, meat and potatoes, I don't think it's going to be hugely beneficial to his scoring. But if he lands on the left, holy shit, that side is pretty hectic from a scoring potential. Definitely one that I'm keen on.
Yeah, if I had a guess, it would be Brown left, Sandon right, but I have seen stranger things happen. Sandon, he had a 58 average if you take out his 2 injury-affected games, so need to take that into consideration as well. So it wasn't quite as bad as the average that you see on paper there. Now, with the goal kicking, it's an 84 strike rate in 2025 from 67 attempts, 78% in 2023, KP 76% in 2025, an average of 79% over the past 3 years. Not only does Sandon eclipse his 2025 strike rate, he also eclipsed his 3-year average KP. So it looks as though Sandon is just a better goal kicker. So take that however you want. And then maybe they have a bit of a kickoff in the preseason, and whoever's better gets the gig. But if you're just looking at the numbers, the raw numbers there, Sandon Smith looks like he is a more successful goal kicker than KP has been. I mean, we've known that KP is a bit of a shit goal kicker for a couple of years now. It's not great.
Oh, for sure.
He's always been sub 80. So yeah, very interesting, Sandon Smith, because the thing that I love about him is that dual. 5'8" and hooker, they are the 2 worst positions in Supercoach draft for 2026. You pick that guy, he sorted both of them out for you.
No, exactly.
Even if it's even if you whack him on your bench. What a bench player. What a fucking bench player for some depth. So yeah, he interests me a lot. I think he could string a 45 average without the goal kicking.
No, I absolutely agree with that for sure. And I think he can do that either side of the field, left or right.
Yep. And then you say 45. Okay, so what is that dual worth? Maybe 5 points. So what, you're going to sort of value him at that 50 average. So yeah, just think about that with Sandon. He's going to be very handy in teams, especially for depth.
The other thing to consider as well is because the Knights have the round 27 bye. If you're a round 26 grand final, you're only going to have to deal with 2 byes from him as well. So that's something to consider with the Knights players.
Sure. Good point. Now, Tommy Starling probably needs to be talked about in this category as well. I've got him as my bust, and it's pretty fucking easy here. And why? It's because the Raiders have fucking more hookers than the red light district at the moment. So you've got Owen Paddy, you've got Brailey coming in as well. So, I mean, Starling wasn't playing the full 80 anyway. He had a 56 average from a whopping 64 minutes a game. So the PPM's shithouse to start with. Those minutes are going to decrease. You would think Owen Paddy would gain some more minutes, and obviously the depth of Brailey there is going to help them as well. And you saw Owen Paddy's minutes started to increase as the season churned along. I just don't see how he can back up that 64 minutes, Tom Starling. They've actually got 4 hookers on the books if you go into their...
Who's the other one?
Their roster. I can't remember his name, just a young bloke, but 4 all up.
Wow.
So, lots and lots of
Ricky,
hookers.
what are you doing, mate? He's done that for the last, 6 years.
Must be nice, all those hookers. So I can see Tom Starling falling back to that sort of 45 to 50 average at best, like on a good day. So I would be leaving Tom Starling for sure. So that's pretty much it for the sweet spot. Let's move on to the bargain basement.
The battle of wits has begun.
Well, that's the way bargain basement works.
I'm very aroused.
So this is pick 71 to 110, rounds 8 to 11. This is probably where you want to be picking up your hookers, I guess, if at all. Honestly, if some guys are slipping to this category, fantastic. Reece Robson, he probably belongs in the sweet spot. People take him just because of his name. But we've got Bailey Hayward in here, Damien Cook, Peter Mazelis, Jacob Little. Yeah. Where do you want to start here?
We can... are you going to be doing Robson as your chub?
No, I changed that.
Okay.
Robson, what have I got Robson as?
Nothing.
I think I've just got him as, just a talking point. I can talk about Robson because I had him as my chub rub, and then I literally did 30 seconds of study and went, oh no, I've got to change this.
The reversing beeps were loud.
Yeah. Now, I've got a feeling that he floats around that 60-minute mark, maybe 65 for the Roosters. That's the thing that worries me because he's been such a big minute hooker for a long, long time. We can go back to 2023. He had 3 games that weren't 80-minute games, 68 minutes for a 48, 68 minutes for a 46, 70 minutes for a 54. PPM up to shit. 2024, 55 minutes for a 61, 69 minutes for a 57 with a try, 72 minutes for a 36. Then last year, 70 minutes for a 46, 52 minutes for a 40, 64 minutes for a 66, 61 minutes for a 17, 55 minutes for a 32, 57 minutes for a 59. So what does all that mean? 47 average in sub 80-minute games across the past 3 seasons, 12 games in total. 47 average from 63 minutes is a PPM of 0.75. And honestly, that's where I think he will probably land, 47 to 52 average if he's going to get between 60 and 65 minutes. And we just talked about how the Roosters don't want people to fuck around in the middle and get the ball to their halves off the deck as quick as possible, which means Reece Robson is just going to get tackle points. And how many tackles can he get done in 60 minutes? That's because that's what he's going to score you, right? It's not going to be 55 tackles. It's most likely going to be 40. So, as soon as I started getting in a lot, I was like, oh no, like he needs to be 80 or just forget about him.
It's a bit of a boner matter.
Yeah.
Next cab off the rank for me, Bailey Hayward. I've got him down as a boom, but you know what? Even when he was playing high minutes at the back end of the season, like his scoring potential is not huge. So look, if you're getting 45 to 50 out of him, you can be getting him late in the draft anyway. So I think that's where I like him as that value player right at the back end of a draft. Not necessarily someone that you want to be chasing, thinking there'll be a good return on him.
And that's where I'm sort of starting to wrap my head around the hooking position, is the sense that, like, if I can get 45 points from a hooker where I can get him fucking late, that's probably going to be my strategy, because it's just absolute dire straight. Damien Cook, you would expect Jacob Little to get more minutes at this in this Dragon side. Damon Cook getting
coming
a little bit older
coming
in
to the end of his career, surely.
For sure. And even last year, he still collected the lion's share of the minutes, and he was playing through the middle. And what did he average? Like a 52 or something? 54. So there's just no way that he goes better than 54. You would think that it'd be like 50 or sub 50. So again, more question marks, more worries.
Yeah.
Who else?
Peter Mamazelos. Like, we've got the Bennett factor, you know, how Bennett uses his hookers. It's not good for Supercoach. You've got Bronson Garlick who's come in, Cheese, who's going to be coming back from his hiatus from last season. I just don't think that there's it's not going to spell great things for Mamazelos. So Sharpie through him as well. I do like Little, and I do like the big impact that he can have with limited minutes. If he can get a bit more of a lion's share of the minutes, maybe become the starting hooker, transition Cookie into that rotating through the middle role that were led to believe at parts of the last season, I think he's going to be a huge sleeper for me.
Yeah, I think Little. I think his role will increase, and people will be scared off Little with Cookie being there. And look, if Little is your 12th pick, that's nice. It's obviously going to be a gamble because you don't know exactly how it's going to play out here for the Dragons. But if it works, it'll work. Because he comes on. What was he playing? Like 30, 40 minutes, scoring tries. Like every second time he fucking laced the boots up. He is a weapon. And we talked about him pretty much all last year, saying, it might be worth running Little as your second hooker because just the upside, as soon as he comes up against these weak defenses in the middle and he comes on against tired defenders, he scores tries. So he is the future at the hooking spot for the Dragons. I like it. I like it if you can get him late enough, which I think you will because no one's thinking about him.
Yeah. And they do have a good young pack as well. So very interested to see how that goes.
For sure.
And getting Keon 2027.
Yeah, there's a lot of go forward there. And like you said, they're building a nice young team. And him being, younger it fits in to, their future plans for the side.
Absolutely.
All right, let's keep it rolling here. Let's get into the Hail Mary guys. The guys are way at the back.
Hail Mary time here, 4 seconds.
We're going to bet it all.
You son of a bitch. I'm in.
This is where I like to get my hookers, Wook. These are the $2 ones. These are the ones that don't have much of a smile, if you know what I mean. Maybe 2-3 teeth.
I was going to say no teeth.
Yep. And we're talking 3:30, 4 a.m. and you're wasted. Hey, you can barely see straight. You're picking coin. Trying to get coins out of your pocket, and you do take coins, and they're like, oh, whatever, and then it's behind a dumpster. Bada bing, bada boom, and you've got some sort of disease
behind
after
the dumpster,
that,
and into the dumpster.
Yeah, and you're scarred for life, and you'll never be the same. So that's where I like my hookers. That's where I'm going to get mine. So first up is my sleeper, and I didn't think I'd be ever talking about Mitch Kenny.
What?
As
a sleeper?
Positive as a positive vibe here.
What?
Mitch Kenny fits the bill of how I view hookers in the 2026 draft. This is not sexy by any means. I mean, but who the fuck is drafting Mitch Kenny, right?
No.
Nobody. You could possibly get him 13th, 14th pick.
You could possibly
Fantastic.
You could possibly get him 17th pick, I think.
Love that. Love that, bro. Because you know what? 46 average in 80-minute games last year, 47 average in 2020. His CV was below 28% last year. He'll do most of it in tackles. 2023, 39 tackles a game. 2024, 43 tackles a game. 2025, 45 tackles a game. So 44, 45 tackles a game. Turn that into points. Most likely going to get 80 minutes. These Panthers only have that young fella Billy Scott on the books as a backup hooker.
Yeah, they let Sonny Luke go and a few others. Yeah.
Yep.
Somerton.
So
Somerton left as well.
Likely to be maybe the third 80-minute hooker in the game.
Mm.
It's so disgusting. I don't want any part of any of these guys where I'm going to have to spend a decent pick. When I say decent pick, I mean anything lower than 10. 45 average from Mitch Kenny. I mean, Harry Grant averaged 53 in games where he didn't score a try. That's only 8 more points. And you can get, Mitch Kenny 10 rounds later?
Yeah.
I'm not expecting the world out of Mitch Kenny. I'm not saying he's going to be fantastic for you, but what I will say is he's going to be a bankable 45 that you can get with your last pick. Thank you. That's exactly what I fucking want. Thank you. Mitch Kenny, come on down to the Eskimo Bros with my 14th pick. Mitch Kenny, 80 minutes, 45 average from 45 tackles a game. I mean, that's all we want, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's it's a dog shit position, and what he offers is a level of certainty. Doesn't offer you much in the way of upside, and I don't think
who the fuck does in this list. Yeah. Tell me one. Give me one.
Oh, like Little. Little definitely offers.
How many minutes is he going to have?
And that's that. There's not a single one on this list that doesn't have a but next to them. So.
Mitch Kenny, 80 minutes, 45. I'm telling you, the more I read it, the more I said it back to myself, the more it fucking made sense. This is a dog shit position, and if you want to spend absolutely nothing on it, Mitch Kenny's probably the best. He's the best 3:30 a.m. hooker with no teeth you can find, I'm telling you.
And you've sampled a few.
I haven't sampled Mitch Kenny yet, but I'm telling you, I may.
I've actually brought Kenny into my side a few times when I haven't had a hooker. So, look, he doesn't disappoint because you're not really expecting much from him.
No. The CV of 28% or lower, which means he doesn't have a lot of variance in his scores. So you're not going to get 20s or 30s. You're going to get 40 to 50. And it's going to be week in, week out. It's honestly a guy that you could just put in your team, not worry about. And you look at him and you go, 43 is a bit shit. But that's right. I didn't spend a fucking thing on him.
Exactly.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? He is the diamond in the rough for me, Mitch Kenny. And that speaks volumes on how bad this position is.
Yeah. I mean, like, realistically, I'm not looking at anyone else. And you rattled off a few names, and look, it's like Riley Smith. I've got him as no fucking way. What sort of minutes is he going to get? I don't think he's going to be relevant. Phineas Crossland, he's going to be sharing minutes at hooker. Like, it's, yeah. I mean, other guys are like an injury away, like your Somerton. If something happens to Verrills, like, he's the next man up. I think he's shown what he can do at the Panthers. I think he's got a lot of go about him, but again, there's a lot of players that are just an injury away.
Ugh.
Yeah.
What a position.
Yeah.
Let's start wrapping this fucking
I was just gonna say, let's put this to bed.
Let's get into the happy ending and just.
You want happy ending?
Let me break it down for you so you understand. I'll hold your hand like a small child.
Oh my God, fuck yeah.
It's not really happy. It's a bit of a sad ending. It's almost like they roll you over and you cry while they finish it off.
That doesn't happen every time.
Is that how you do it? Make me cry. Twist my nipples. All right. Draft strategy, Wooker. I think we've sort of...
We have summed up a little bit.
Don't do it. Just don't draft him.
Yeah. I mean, all you have to do is look into 2025 season. Like, hookers only made up 6% of the top 100 averaging players with at least 15 games played. And only one of those snuck into the top 50, being Blake Brailey. And only 3 hookers managed a 60-plus average in JMK, Grant, and Blake Brailey. So what's the strategy? Wait. Go for value. Don't spend a pick before your 7th pick. It's not worth it.
And honestly, after just dipping my toe into some of the 5'8 study today, it's becoming more apparent that hooker is the most AE-able position in 2026. It was a bit of a toss-up between hooker and 5'8, obviously.
5'8's got more depth. 5'8's got way more depth. Shitty depth, but definitely not as shitty as hooker.
Yep, so bad. All right, let's keep the vibe of the show rolling here. Get into boom, bust, sleepers.
I wanted you to see these player evaluations.
What's wrong with Cal?
I think he's a bust.
I mean, the guy has hammies that could literally pull a car.
All right, booms. I've gone read Mahoney. I did have a couple of extra stats here to load up on the stuff that you were talking about. I did a bit of a look at Mahoney and how he's gone in 80-minute games over his career. I looked at their roster. He's the clear hooker. There's no other hooker listed for the Cowboys. I mean, at a pinch, McIntyre or Cotter could probably play there, but why would you?
No,
I mean,
no.
It's pretty clear that they brought Mahoney there to play
Harrison.
80 minutes.
They played Harrison Edwards through their parts of last season. So
writing's on the wall there, right? So in 2025, he had a 53 average in 80-minute games. 2024, a 62 average in 80-minute games. 2023, 58 average in 80-minute games. So over the past 3 seasons, he's averaged 58 in 80-minute games. Now, the fact that he's sitting at a 43 average and that he averaged 33 minutes for the last 6 games of the season will provide you value in drafts. And at that 43 average, we're looking at least a 7-point bump there. It's a pretty easy boom for me, but I think, honestly, he could, if I had to gun to my head, what's he going to average? I'll say 54. So, you're looking at almost a 10-point jump there. So he has performed in 80-minute games. It's not going to be huge. It's not going to be fucking groundbreaking, but he's obviously going to do better than he did last season. So the only thing is Classic is going to ruin his draft value because people are talking about Reed Mahoney a lot because of how cheap he is and because how fucking disgusting the position is. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Classic diehards will probably draft him a little bit earlier than they should.
Yeah.
Which happens a lot.
No, for sure. And that's the thing that we'll circle back to it when we talk about a lot of players that we're keen on, that the value is just being sucked out of them because of Classic talk. So one that I think is probably going to be in the same boat is my boom is Bailey Hayward. We spoke about him a little bit earlier. Like, I don't think he's going to be fantastic. I think we might be looking at like a 45 average. But yeah, he's coming off a 35 average from last season. Had a lot of low-minute games, peppered in with games off the bench and everything else. So he only had a 55-minute average through the season. I think that jumps up a little bit. I think his base output is going to increase. So he was at a 27-point base average from last season. Played a few games in the halves and everything else, which obviously deflated that. But playing mainly through the hooking position, that'll ramp up. So I think his floor is going to be relatively solid. And I think he is definitely someone that you should be able to get late in the drafts, but he's been someone that's been bandied about as a cheap hooker option that will have like cash cow potential at the start of the season. So the Classic talk may erode some of the draft value for him as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm just looking at the Bulldogs roster. He's listed as a lock, but there's only one other guy that is listed as a hooker. And that is Patrick Young.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that they'll be having Mitch Woods will be on the bench.
Yeah, okay.
So
he can rotate through the hooking role.
Probably, yeah. They'll want to get him in some game time at some point in the season. I don't know when it's going to happen, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that they'll try to blood him at some point.
Okay, fair. Bust, I talked about mine, Tom Starling, with Ricky Stewart collecting all the hookers like their Pokemon. I don't think Tom Starling is going to get enough minutes, and his PPM just ain't up to scratch to help him with that drop in minutes either.
No, totally agree with that. My bust is Connor Watson. Just some real uncertainty with his role and how he's going to be used. And look, if he is put on as that impact player off the bench, He'll have big games, but he'll also have a lot of very low games, and his floor is going to drop significantly.
Yeah, there's too many question marks around Connor Watson. He's a bit of a back your gut type pick.
Yeah.
And like, hats off to you. If you do back your gut and pick him and it works out, it won't be me.
I've had him two seasons on the fly, and this won't be a third.
Yep. Sleepers and the highlight of this podcast, Mitch Kenny for me. I outlined all the reasons why I think Mitch Kenny is a fantastic sleeper. He's so sleepy, you're going to have to wake the cunt up to pick him.
Mate, it's not...
Come on, bud. Pack your bag. Wake up, pack your bag, pack your shit, because you're coming to the Eskimo Bros.
It's the sleepers, mate. It's not the comas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jacob Little's my sleeper. I think, look... I'm expecting him to get a bit more of a bump in minutes. His output has always been fantastic. And yeah, he's got that upside and a bit of that dog about him. So yeah, very keen on Jacob Little.
Yeah, he's the guy that probably has the most potential in the guys that are going to be taken later on in the season. So again, a bit of a back your gut play, but if it works out, I think it is going to work out nicely.
Yeah, definitely.
Righto, let's get into the no fucking
way. No, I'm not working with this guy. I've been there, done that.
Phoenix Crossland for me, just because the uncertainty in where he'll play, how many minutes he'll play. Is it going to be lock? Is it going to be coming through hooker? Is he going to be on the bench? Is he going to play at all? Who knows? I've had him before, and he is an absolute conundrum, and I don't want anything to do with him.
Yeah, I think he's going to be sharing minutes at best, and he's not going to be starting, I don't think, either. Riley Smith is my no fucking way. Like his output even in high minute games is not fantastic. PPM is okay, but yeah, he's going to be sharing a lot of minutes with Talon Silva. There's no absolute certainty that he'll even start. So yeah, big red sharpie through him.
Ew, fucking ew. Now that's hooker done. That's the analysis. Sorry that wasn't enlightening or entertaining. Well, I hope it was a little bit entertaining.
No, it was enlightening.
It's just leave it the fuck alone. Don't play with it.
Yeah.
It'll fall off. Don't play with it. Yeah, plenty coming your way. We've started a little bit later than we like to have started. So potties will be coming at you thick and fast. Front row forward will probably get recorded tomorrow night. Then we've got 2RF recording on Thursday night, and then straight into halfback 5-8, probably early the following week. Just banging them out, just absolutely pumping them into the fucking core of the earth. And then accompanying those podcasts will be your exclusive potties, your player and focus potties over on the Rub Club, all the stats that accompany the ranks, and the stat porn that goes along with each specific position. So check that out over there on the Rub Club. All the content that's going to be flying at you over on the Instagram. If you're not following us, go follow us. Or yeah, just heaps. Just a very, very fucking busy month for everyone prepping for their drafts. We're going to love you and leave you now. If you want to listen to the rest of this podcast where we go through our players and focus, which will be Jake Simpkin and Sam Verrills, and then we'll go through some classic prices and how our classic team is faring for the hooker position. Jump over to the Rub Club. Link is in the bio. What is the fucking link, Wook? Rubber stats something?
Yeah, so it's patreon.com/rubber stats.
There we go. That's the one. Head on over there, $8 per month, cheaper than a schooner, and you'll get all your back room juicy rubs. But until we talk to you about some of those big fucking pigs, let's get out of here. There are many things a man can do with his time.
This is better than those things.
You're damn right, Wooker. Catch us next round on the weekly Rub Down.
Get that India.
Ta-ta!
Ugh.
Yeah.